Hey guys, what's up? It's White, and this is the second round of drawing your OCs. This first OC is Midnight, and she belongs to Ash. So looking at her wiki on the Creepypasta Amino, here's some of the basic information about her. Her full name is Danny Bree Millers. Her preferred name is Midnight. Her date of birth is March 20th, 1999. Her zodiac sign is Pisces. She's 20 years old, she's a human, and her occupation is a proxy of Slender Man, and she's a serial killer. She's strong, fast, and intelligent, and the wiki says that Ash is currently working on her weaknesses. So I'm just gonna read what it says under her personality. It says, let's just say she can kind of be a bitch, but can be nice as long as you don't get on her bad side. She's very overprotective of some of her friends. Then there's other information about her, such as like medical information and her appearance. She has 3 stitches on her face and bruises and cuts on her arms and legs. And she has the operator symbol on her neck. She uses a sword and a pocket knife as weapons. I would love to know where she keeps her sword. Looking at her stats on the amino, it says her intelligence is 9 out of 10, her strength is 8 out of 10, her endurance is 7 out of 10, tolerance 9 out of 10, speed 7 out of 10, balance 10 out of 10, stamina 8 out of 10. She's a little overpowered. She's a little overpowered, but that's totally fine. Balancing a character is not always easy, so I'm definitely curious as to what her weaknesses might be or what might be changed with her to make her a little bit more balanced. But overall, I think this is a promising start. There's nothing about her design that's super flashy. It's very simple. I think maybe, you know, especially because she likes to wield a sword, I think it would be cool to include an element in her design, like some kind of holster or something where she would keep it. If she just used a pocket knife, then obviously there would be no need for that. But it would be a really cool thing to add. But like I've said before, simplicity is not necessarily a bad thing. If anything, it's great because you can always add more stuff. It's harder if you have a lot of details like too many details. It's hard to, you know, get into the mindset where like, oh, I have to take some of these away. Like I'm attached to all of them. So it's a lot harder to take stuff away than it is to add things, at least in my opinion. But overall, I think she's cool. I think she's cute. I think she does need a little bit of work. I didn't read her full wiki just because there is some sensitive content on there, as with a lot of creepypasta characters, but it is on the Creepypasta Amino, so feel free to check it out if you want. I would definitely recommend it. You get to know a little bit more about the character, but overall, I definitely see potential in her. I'm still really hung up on the sword. I want to know how she carries around a sword easily. But yeah, she was fun to draw, and that is Midnight. The next OC is by Silent Sarah, and her name is Silent Sarah. So this is her first OC, and I think as far as first OCs go, she looks pretty good. Typically, a lot of people who make their first OCs want to make them look really flashy and stand out, and it actually ends up detracting from, you know, the overall appeal of the character. So I'm happy to see that Sarah has distinct features, but they're not over the top. Similarly with Midnight, I do think Sarah and Midnight are on the same level in terms of they could have a little bit more detail added to them just to make them stand out a little bit more, but that could also come with a story. And I know Sarah said that she was working on her OC story. I did not see it, I did not find it, so hopefully that will be added soon to the Amino because I'm interested with what that might be. We don't know her powers or her abilities, but as far as design goes, I mean, you know, like I said before, she's pretty simple. I do like the color in her hair. I love when people add different colors to their character's hair, not over the top, like flashy hair colors. Sometimes that can work though. It depends what the character is, but sometimes that can be really fun to work with too. But her kind of ombre or highlights at the end of her hair, they work really well with the rest of her design, which is great. If you have a pretty simple design overall, it can get tricky if you want to add like super flashy hair or super flashy something, but it can work sometimes. With this specific OC, I think this hair color actually works very, very well. One thing I am really curious about is what the purple splotches on her shirt, on her sweatshirt are. I'm not sure if those are supposed to be the design of the sweatshirt or if there's some kind of stains or something, because there is a blood stain on her pants, so I'm not sure what those could be. Also, her sweatshirt has a bunch of rips and tears in it. When any character has ripped clothes, it kind of is like, I wonder what happened. I wonder what they've been through. So I definitely want to know a little bit more about her. It does seem like Sarah is working on her story or improving her story, as she mentioned. But yeah, my same little critique as I had with Midnight is I think maybe Sarah less so than Midnight, but it would be cool to see if more details could be added to her, maybe more subtle details rather than anything. But it's hard for me to say because I don't know her backstory. It could be that this works perfectly for what she's going for, in which case that's perfectly fine. But anyway, yep, this is Silent Sarah. And lastly, we have Anxiety by the Edgy Muffin, and I have to say, I love his design so much. I love it so much. There's just something about it that it sticks out. Like, I wouldn't confuse him with somebody else. The thing is, this character is actually a really, really good example of a design that is super simple, but very recognizable. And that's something that's hard to do. Because really all he's wearing is a hoodie, what I think is a scarf, and a mask. But there are just things about Anxiety that make him stand out from the others. And one in particular that I actually really, really like. And if this isn't meant to be a part of his design, then I apologize. But it kind of seems like it is. The mask that he's wearing doesn't quite fit his face. In some of the drawings it does, but in others it doesn't. And personally, I really like the ones where it doesn't fit his face. I also really like the eyes. They're so creepy, which is good because I'm pretty sure that's what this character was going for. So anyway, going into actual information on him, his real name is Aiden Jameson Mills. And his demon name is Anxiety, so I'm guessing he is a demon. Yep, species is a vengeful demon. His age is 25 when he died. And I'm just gonna summarize his personality as likes and dislikes. But basically, he's mischievous and childish, but at the same time, he can be proper and cunning and merciless and deranged. He giggles a lot of the time, and he takes things like a joke with a carefree act, but he can become easily angered and essentially fly off the handle and become a loose cannon that can go off at any time. He likes killing and tormenting. It makes him feel alive again. And I guess it brings this kind of childish joy to him as well. And it's become more of an obsession rather than a job or a hobby. He doesn't like snobby rich people, but he also doesn't like women who sell their bodies. So this is pretty interesting. I would like to know more about that. And it actually might be in his creepypasta. But anyways, there is an origin story on the wiki as well, and it does contain sensitive material just like Midnight's. So I'm not going to read it on here in this particular video, but if you want to check it out, definitely do so. It's on the LostWight Amino and should be under the Edgy Muffin's profile. But overall, design-wise, like I was saying, he's super simple, but his simplicity works really, really well because every part of his design is pretty unique, at least in my opinion, while at the same time being things that we recognize. I love when characters have like simple color palettes, but they aren't boring color palettes. Like, yes, there are a lot of blacks and grays in this, but the bright white of the eyes and the purple skin and everything, it all just works. Everything just works. I think the Edgy Muffin did a really good job with this character. I really like him. I think he's cool. I want to know more about him, and so I'll probably read the creepypasta or more in his wiki to find out more about him. So anyway, that is the Edgy Muffin's Anxiety. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I'm pretty sure I have a cold. I'm also super tired because I stayed up until like 3 AM last night and I woke up pretty early. So anyways, this was round 2, and last time I believe we had 40 entries, and this time we had 157. So that was more than double what we had last time. And as you guys know, these OCs are picked at random to make it as fair as possible. And as always, if you entered an OC for this one and you didn't get picked, these happen every other week on the Amino if you are part of the fan club. So definitely join the Amino, hop into the fan club if you want the chance to have your OC drawn by me. Anyways, that's it for this video. Thank you guys for watching and have a wonderful rest of your day.